My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Other realtors have vacant homes. At Pest Properties, ours come occupied and ready to invest. Looking to relocate your larvae? Try the Petrie Residence. This rustic home features thousands of crevices to squirm in through, vaulted ceilings for our wall crawlers, and an outdoor bird bath teeming with mosquito eggs. So kick up your 6 hairy legs and sign today.
Before pests move in, Terminix it. With over 95 years of experience, we'll help keep your home off the pest market. Visit Terminix.com today.
Did you know Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company? They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just quarterback Peyton Manning, I'm also meditating Manning. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
No need for the save from Lorde. And Campbell finds himself in. And it is 3-1 to the Chelsea Chieftains. Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK Ice Hockey Podcast. We're in partnership with the Hockey Art Co. Hockey clothing for hockey people. Worn by the best and hated by the rest. Listeners to the ZPG network get a 10% discount off of everything site-wide at hockeyartclothing.co.uk. Just use the code ZP10. Those Razor reversible training jerseys are back in stock and you can order them from the website. We are also in partnership with Manscaped.com. Manscaped provide top-of-the-range male grooming products, everything for your chest, your head and your balls with the Weed Whacker, the Dome Shaver Pro and the Lawnmower 5.0. All fantastic stuff. I use it weekly. I think it's some of the best stuff that you can ever find for male grooming products. You get 20% off everything at manscaped.com when you use the code 0pucks20. All one word, all caps, 0pucks20. We are also on the Sports Social Podcast Network, the largest sport podcast network in Europe, boasting over 500 podcasts from more than 20 different sports, from the likes of famous ex-athletes to famous media likes as well. It's one of the best podcast networks you could find. Any sport you can think of, even fantasy sports, there's a podcast for it there on the Sports Social Podcast Network. Well, this is our interview episode. We are going to be catching up with Swindon Wildcats 2 netty, Brett Massey. Brett Massey, thank you for joining Zero Pucks Given. How are you doing this evening, mate?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Coming off the back of a very exciting weekend of hockey where you were riding the pine for the weekend.
What, sorry?
You were riding the pine for the weekend.
What does that mean?
Sitting on the bench.
Oh, right, yeah, this weekend. A little bit of a weekend off, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a weekend. I mean, to be fair, you probably did not really want to face Slough, did you, on one of your sort of first games of the season? Because they certainly sort of took their pick, didn't they, on Saturday night?
Yeah. I mean, both ways. They're obviously a very strong team this year, so it's never going to be nice to play them. But, I mean, being the old club, you definitely a bit excited to play them, so I'm looking forward to getting my chance to play them at some point this year, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have at least 3 more opportunities, wouldn't you, to sort of try and not exact any revenge of any sort, but it's always nice to put in a good performance, isn't it, against the former club?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, no, some of the boys are giving me a bit of stick, so it'd be nice to be giving it back next time, so.
Well, when I said that you were going to come on, a lot of the sort of feel-outs that I had came from Slough fans kind of wondering, you know, why you'd gone to Swindon. I mean, you're a Chipping Norton-born boy. Is it just a geographical decision?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, lots of it had to do with location. I mean, Ken was my junior coach coming through, so always stayed in contact with him. He was actually the one that put me in touch with Slough when I come out of juniors, so yeah, we stayed in touch. They said they had plans for putting a team back into this league. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't really enjoying my hockey last year. I just was struggling to get some love out of the game. So I thought maybe a move might reignite that spark. And so far, so good. I'm enjoying my time at Swindon. So yeah.
Almost like the prodigal son returns. As you said, you did all your junior hockey in Swindon, so that's nice to be back.
Yeah, no, definitely a nice feeling. Some familiar faces around the rink. So yeah, good to see the people again. And yeah, I mean, it's a place to start, so it's always nice to come back, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and as far as foreign coaches in this country go, you've really been under two that players certainly just lord over the way that they actually deal with players personally. So, is there differences between Smits and Ken?
Yeah, no, I think they're definitely very different in personality, but I mean, both great coaches in their own respect. So, yeah.
We heard from Ken on the podcast this week with his coach's thoughts. He's a great talker, and you can almost hear in his voice the pure experience he's got in this game from Canada, and obviously being a staple of it over here for the last 20 years. So the roster he's put together there, you've obviously got the guys that were part of the Swindon Wildcats when they were in the NIHL too, but then the added experience with the likes of yourself and Liam Coleman, Steve Osman, Ben Nethersell, and that. Is the room in a really, really good place?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like you say, we've got some youngsters that have come through. There's a lot of talent in that room, and yeah, the experienced guys. Again, a lot of talent as well, and it just merges together really well. So the room's definitely very good.
Was there something that, like at the start of the season, did they sort of put out like this is our target?
Not really. I don't think so. I mean, Ken's pushed forward that he wants us to be one of the hardest working teams in the league. So, I mean, you can't really ask for much more than that. You put in good performances every weekend, try your best, and you just see where that takes you.
I suppose with the change in the playoff format that it's going to be 8 rather than 6. That kind of does give you a target as well to get as high up in that 8 as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know what the playoff situation is. I don't know what the system's going to be. It's just all I know is finish as high up in the league as possible.
Yeah, I think when they announced it, obviously Swindon and Cardiff joining the league to make it a 10-team league. I think it originally was going to be top 6 qualify into 2 groups of 3, but I think a lot of teams are struggling to get the ice time just to fulfil their league fixtures, let alone fulfil group stage fixtures for playoffs.
Right. Okay.
So I think we're going to be top 8, straight quarters, straight semis, and then finals at a neutral venue yet to be confirmed by England Ice Hockey, but certainly all exciting stuff moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
So your start was at Swindon then. How old were you when you first decided that ice hockey was going to be for you?
Cool. I don't know. I think I was second year of under 15s.
Oh, really? So
yeah,
were into your teenage years already.
Yeah, I joined ice hockey late. I started off in roller hockey, and then yeah, I mean, I didn't even know ice hockey was a thing back when I was a kid. So yeah, it came about, and yeah, I think I must have been 13, 14, I think, when I started at Swindon.
And did you just see it at Swindon, or was there something else that kind of brought you onto it?
No, so like I say, I started off at roller hockey. That all started, my mum used to be a swimming teacher, so when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to stay at home on my own. Obviously, I was still a kid, so I had to go there, and the only sport that was on at the time was roller hockey in the Lish Centre. So yeah, I mean, I didn't want to sit around watching, so I thought I'd have a go. Yeah, and it all progressed from there, really.
Skater goalie?
Yeah, I was. But yeah, I was very young, so I was playing with a lot of older guys, and to be honest, I was terrified of them putting me into the board, so I thought I'd go and goal. Yeah, not really sure how that's played out, but
was that ball hockey then in roller?
Yeah, Chippy Tricksters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done really, really well actually. Yeah, they've won a lot of things in the roller hockey community, so yeah, that was a very good team to be a part of.
Yeah, I think the World Championships, inline roller hockey World Championships, is just starting in Italy. Yeah,
I've seen a few people going across. Yeah,
I think there's a few guys from this league, especially I think actually that are playing out there for Great Britain. So I think it's something that a lot of people do get their start in that and then do progress into ice. So
Yeah.
how did that progression come about then from roller to ice?
That was really, really difficult. I don't think I could skate for the first year of playing. I was sort of just flying about the place. But yeah, I mean, it's so different being able to, well, there's a lot less friction on the ice, I guess. So it was a difficult one to get my head around.
Have you got a preference of a 100-mile-an-hour object coming at you, ball or puck?
A puck hurts more, but I'd definitely take that.
I suppose aerodynamically through the air, is there a massive difference in the way you have to react to a ball or a puck?
To be fair, the ball, I don't know what it is, but the ball sort of like it's sort of like a knuckleball is in football. Like when people hit it quite hard, it's like changes direction throughout the air, so that was quite difficult to read. Whereas a puck, as soon as it comes off the blade, the trajectory of it, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah. Did you do anything kind of like manually yourself to improve reaction time or sort of preempt movements in yourself if you could start to read where a puck might be going depending on where or how it was shot?
Well, I mean, through just coaching, really, they teach you a little bit of how to read the puck off the player's sticks. But, I mean, players are getting so good nowadays to disguise how they're shooting. So it's a bit more of a difficult one.
Yeah, I remember last year when I spoke to Owen Ryder, actually, and we sort of said the amount of players, especially in this league now, that have dropped down from the National League. So you've got that better calibre player that, if they're coming at you one-on-one, is it harder to read what they're going to do? And he said, yeah, you just they bamboozle you almost with stick work and you've no idea which hole they're going to go for.
No, exactly that. Yeah, I reiterate that.
So from your junior career in Swindon, and then Ken sort of put you through to Slough, which has always had a really good reputation for junior hockey, and particularly bringing them through to the first team. What was that like stepping into there? Because a lot of them guys there, they start very, very young, don't they, through Slough?
Yeah. I mean, I was quite impressed into how good the juniors were. I mean, I was there for 3 seasons, and every single year you had juniors coming up and stepping up to the senior team, and it was as if they'd been there the whole time. Yeah, I mean the development that Slough's got from juniors to seniors is really good. Yeah, top.
Yeah, and you had last year particularly, actually, you had a new helmet design.
I did, yeah.
Lid was very, very stylish. I think I shared it out and tagged the artist in that did it. Is that have you changed it for this year? Is it still the same?
It's still the same underneath. I've had a wrap put over the top of it. Yeah, I mean that design was unbelievable. Top marks to Andy who done it. That was crazy how good the detail was in that. But I thought of a dark blue helmet on a red and white jersey, it just doesn't quite go well. So I've had a wrap put over the top of that.
Yeah, and your dad John, isn't it? Your dad.
Yeah, that's my dad. Yeah. He's
a massive fan of the podcast. He's always sharing the stuff out, which is so appreciative of. When you first sort of said, "I'm gonna be a goalie," was he like, "Oh God, that costs a fortune"?
I don't actually remember, to be honest. Yeah, I was just, like I say, I was just terrified of being a player, so I thought I have to go and goal. Actually, I tell a lie. The club at Chippy, they did do little sponsorship deals, and they managed to get some kit for the club.
Oh, that's
yeah. So I wore that, and then once I grew out of that, it got passed down to the juniors. So to start off with, it wasn't that expensive, but now, or in the more recent years, it has got more expensive, definitely.
Yeah, particularly you guys love a personalisation as well, didn't you? Say with the artistic slant on the lid and maybe something on the pads as well.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think that's one of the coolest parts about the job is you can design and do whatever you like to your kit.
Yeah,
and I think it adds a bit of a personal touch as well.
So last year with Slough, it was an incredibly successful year really for the club. They really came into their own, and they pushed everybody incredibly tight. They were involved in some of the most incredible games last year. When it got down to the playoff semi-final, we was all expecting to see you come out in nets, and you were dressed on the bench. Did you have a little niggle? Because I didn't manage to catch up with you on the day. It was such a bonkers day.
No, I was fine that weekend. Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to it. It was a good weekend, but yeah, it was coach's decision to play Rory, and yeah.
Yeah, because it was a bit of a strange one. Everyone was really quite shocked to see see you on the bench. And not that, I mean, we even said in commentary, we're not sure what difference it would have even made. Chelmsford they were on fire that day. I think it was, obviously not Rory McGibbon's fault in any way, shape or form, and he's gone on, took a fantastic opportunity to go and play in the States since then. But yeah, I just thought it was a really, really strange one to see you sort of as a healthy scratch almost standing there on the bench.
Yeah, no, I think, like you say, I don't really know how much the situation would have changed as Chelmsford went on to win. I mean, yeah, they were on top form over the weekend, so top marks to them. And to Rory, honestly, I think that kid has got all the talent in the world. I don't think I've ever seen anybody so good in close. I mean, that kid's reactions and flexibility is second to none. So
yeah, I think he's definitely going to go far, and obviously it's not going to hurt him going out to the States and playing with that sort of caliber at that kind of intermediate college level that he'll be playing at. I think he'll come back an incredibly strong netminder for this level, maybe even the levels above as well, which we're seeing happen a little bit actually. We're seeing players come where they can commit to the schedule. They're moving up to the national, and some even going up as far as the elite. Players from this league, Brindley Caps, Joe Tamala and the likes. Has that ever sort of appealed to you to push yourself onto the upper echelons of hockey in this country, or would it have been, I just want to play, I can have my life, but I want to play on the side as well?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, my mindset changes year from year. When I first joined the league, definitely was go as far as you can go. But yeah, back then I was just enjoying hockey. I think last year I sort of fell out of love with the game for a little bit. So at the moment, I'm just want to focus on the game, try and get a bit of the love back that I've had the whole time I've been playing, and just see what happens then. Try and put a good season together, and we'll go from there.
Did you pinpoint anywhere where you lost the love, or it dwindled a little bit?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Maybe it was towards the end of the second year of Slough. It started to go downhill a little bit then. But I mean, full thanks to the boys really. Everybody there. I mean, I spoke to Smits. He helped me out. I knew Massey anyway. But yeah, he put me in contact with Matty as well, and me and Matty had a few phone calls, and we just spoke about the game and went through that, and yeah, I mean, it really helped. So Lucas, Matty, the boys, yeah, they all came together to help me out a little bit. So
yeah. Do you think there's a bit more mental preparation to being a goalie?
I would say so. I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, but I would say so. I think I know a few goalies they're proper dialed in, getting into the zone before the game, and it's not something I really do.
No. Would it ever have sort of not so much had an effect on your mental health? But I remember when Christian Moore was on, I'd sort of say, mentally, you step out onto the ice, you're just going out to play the game that you love. If you're struggling to find the love and there's 1,000 screaming people, that must have some sort of effect on your mentality. Yeah,
no, I would agree so. I think during the time it was just more of I wasn't really enjoying it, so it doesn't really, I'm going to try my best, but in the back of my mind I was thinking, well, it doesn't really matter because I'm not enjoying it anyway, which obviously isn't the mentality to have when you're playing it at this sort of level, but like I say, I'm definitely enjoying it again now, so I mean, I'm excited to get to games now, and I want to do my best out there, so.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about, isn't it? As fans, that's what they feel the same as well. They're excited to get to the game, to get the weekend, get the week done, and get to hockey on the weekend, and it's exactly what they want to hear. That the players feel exactly the same. But I think there's a level of understanding amongst the fans as well, that especially because the level we're playing at, you guys have all got jobs, you've got lives outside of hockey. That it's not always going to be 100% mentality on, is it?
No, that's it. I mean, some weeks going to be good, some weeks going to be bad. I mean, like you say, you've got your working life as well. That can affect you during the week, so you might not always have the best weekend. But I mean, that's what it's for, having a good team around you. I mean, you get into that dressing room and you've got the hype and the buzz going around the dressing room, and it sort of lifts your spirits again. So
yeah, is it the camaraderie in that room? Is there a good shit house in that room?
I don't know about that, but yeah, Will Hardin, he's a very, very funny guy. He never fails to make me laugh. So
I think it's one of those sports, isn't it? You need that little bit of skullduggery and that little bit of shithousery sort of on the ice to keep the thing, because it's such a large team, isn't it? I think you don't want to end up having cliques and different groups separating from groups of sort of 20 to 25 blokes. So coming from a sort of a football and a boxing background is, small teams or solo sports, you don't have that sort of thing. So in hockey, that must be really, really hard to keep that mentality level up, and you need someone, as you say, like Will Harding to keep it light.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, having a bit of a laugh, it's always important. So.
Yeah. You stuck with your number 74 then through Slough and into Swindon. What's the story behind your number?
It's actually 73.
Oh,
it was 74.
Beg pardon, yeah.
No, it was a complete mistake. So, I mean, my number started in roller. Like I say, I had no idea about ice hockey. I didn't even know what it was. They just told me to pick a number. So I picked my house number, which was number 7. And that was taken. So the next one was my nan. So I picked number 73. From there, I started watching a bit more of the sports. I started taking some goalies numbers. So, I went with Marc-Andre Fleury. I went 29 for a bit. Then I had my Kerry Price, so I went 31. So I had 31 for a while. Went to Slough. That was a retired jersey. So I went back to 29. Didn't really like the number. I don't know why. So I just thought I'll change it up. I went to 74. The next year I went to keep it. Misprinted my jersey to 73. And I was like, that was my first ever number, so I'll just stick with it now. So yeah, that's the story behind that.
Wow, a jersey misprint. I've not heard that one before.
That was it. But it was sort of like I don't know. I took it as sort of a sign. It was, like I say, it was my first ever number, so the misprint sort of worked.
Yeah. We had a few questions come in on the Instagram post that we put out. There was, as I said, a lot of the people were just wondering again why you'd sort of left Slough and how much did you miss what was going on back in Slough?
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, yeah. I mean, seeing the boys on the weekend, I'm missing to bits, man. What a bunch of guys they are, and obviously seeing the way they're playing this year to start off with, I mean, they're going to be a really hard team to beat. So yeah, I definitely miss that aspect, and the crowd at Slough as well got bigger and bigger every single year, and it did get a very big buzz around the rink when you got there. So
yeah, I think you had a little loan last year back to Swindon to the Wildcats in the National League, didn't you? Did you actually manage to ice for them?
No, I just went on for the warm-up. It was quite embarrassing, actually. I got off a bit too early by accident. And it was a much bigger crowd, and they had to call me back on the ice for warm-up. But yeah, no, just there to back up, really.
Oh, so that was a little precursor to the return home.
Yeah.
So, Ty Cathcart wants to know how much you miss him.
Oh, missing to bits, man. Me, Chris, we developed. Sorry, me, Ty, Chris, we developed a very big bond during Slough. It's sort of like a little three amigos within the team. We did a lot through summer, so yeah, I miss Ty's bits. And obviously, with him being in the league above, he's got a much bigger schedule now, so it's a bit of a tough one.
What I always say about Ty is he's one of those players that if he doesn't play for you, you hate him. But then when he plays for you, you absolutely love him. But I think the kid's so self-aware of his style of play, what he does to other players and other fans. He's so aware of it. There was a disciplinary issue he had towards the end of last year, and he sent me a little video of it. And he said, I might be a rat, but I'm not a bastard.
No, I can see it from both sides, but yeah, definitely once you get to know him, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and he's never got a bad word to say about anybody. So
no, he's a true character, and as we said earlier, you absolutely need those in your team and in your game.
100%.
And so to the other member of that little trio of yours, Christian wants to know what your obsession with Actimel is.
Oh, that's a little story there. That was a story from a night out. I don't know what went on. I don't even like Actimel. To answer his question, yogurt? Yeah, the little yogurt drinks. Yeah. I'll leave that there. It was just, I don't know.
That's like the wrong shot, I think, to do on
Definitely.
Do you? There's what I notice. There's a lot of at Slough. There's a lot of pretty boys, and they like their country music, And I see you sporting a rather fine tash as well.
Yeah.
The old school hockey fashion is like massively back in at the moment, and you guys massively partook in that.
100%. There were so many mustaches and mullets and long hair at Slough, and like you say, country music. I mean, that was on in the dressing room a lot, so it's definitely coming back.
And these are young guys as well, isn't it? You've got, a little bit of experience there with Timo, and then obviously Matt's come back there now, and the likes of Alex Cole and Brandon Miles having a bit of experience. But yeah, all these young lads with their tashes and mullets, I think it's absolutely brilliant to see.
Yeah.
But so from your entire sort of playing career across the levels that you've played, junior and senior, have you got like one particular highlight, like a penalty shot save or something like that you can always think back on and think, yeah, that was my moment?
I mean, it doesn't quite seem it, but I did the England under-23s. I don't really know what happened with that. It was sort of a last-minute put together.
Yeah.
But playing against Denmark, I mean, that team was unbelievable, and they absolutely battered us.
It was January a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I think they beat 11-0 and 15-0 or something over a couple of
Yeah. It was really quite bad, actually. But it was one of the best experiences I've had playing against some guys at that level. And it sounds silly, but one of the periods it was just 1-0 to them. So to me, that was a massive win, and I think that was some of the best hockey I've played. So I think that was probably one of my highlights. Yeah,
I spoke to a few other people that were in that roster, because at the time that came out, I was just covering the Chelmsford Chieftains on this podcast, and Kieran Rayner was in that lineup, and they'd also picked Ethan Reid, and then when they got there, realised he was Scottish. He couldn't play for England. But people that were in that roster had said to me, like, that level, I mean, some of them Danish kids, they were training for NHL draft. They were going to that level.
Yeah. I mean, I know their goalie was from the SHL. I know they had a couple guys from that league, and I think there was 2 guys there that was playing for the KHL at the time. So, I mean, the levels from that to South One is drastic. So, but the experience was unbelievable. So.
Yeah, and as you say, if you go a whole period just losing 1-0, that's an incredible achievement against that sort of level. That's one of the reasons some people that say to me that don't really know a great deal about the sport, and they go like, oh, why don't you have like an FA Cup where everybody from all the leagues play one cup competition together? And I say, because it wouldn't be a competition.
No, exactly. The levels are massive between the leagues.
Yeah.
So
they're absolutely huge. So do you follow hockey in this country? Have you got a team that you follow in this country?
Not particularly. No, I don't really watch it.
No, I hear that from quite a few, actually, that it's not like something that you do really watch. I mean, I suppose the NHL is difficult times, isn't it, to actually watch it properly and be proper involved in it. But I suppose when you're playing in it, you've got to support the team that you're playing for.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, apart from my team, that's about it.
Yeah. So do you get to much, like if Wildcats 2 don't have a game, do you guys go along and watch the Wildcats in the National League?
No, not really, no. No, I mean, I wouldn't support a team. I mean, the only team I support really is Slough, obviously coming from there, so obviously wishing them all the best for the year, but apart from that, it's not really a team I follow.
No, and as you said, they've made a cracking start, and they're really looking like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. As a Streatham and as a Chelmsford, I mean, the league as a whole, have you got an idea of how it might finish out?
No, not really. I've not got. I mean, the top 3-4 this year, I think, are going to be really, really close. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm just hoping that we can cause a few upsets along the way. I mean, it'd be great if we could get a W over one of those teams at some point during the year.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Where at the start of the season, when I sort of previewed it, I sort of said, look, it's going to be a really competitive season. And then you get to this week and you've got some 9-0, 7-0, 12-1s and all this going on. It doesn't look competitive. It looks almost one-sided. But I think you're going to see the league kind of split into 2 or 3 different groups where those top 3 or 4 are going to be really competitive. The middle pack are going to be really competitive. But then I think the likes of Swindon, Romford, possibly Cardiff as well, they're going to sneak a win off of those top teams every now and again. Because, as you said earlier, where Ken wants you to be the hardest working team, if that sort of top of the league team switch off for one night, you'll get beat by a really hard-working team.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's our goal this year is, like I say, is work hard, be the fastest team we can be, and, try and cause a few upsets along the way, and, get as many points as we can, make sure we get into the playoffs, so.
Yeah, no, that'd be excellent. Then the postseason is always so entertaining at this level. The fans love it, the players love it. Do you have any sort of superstitions that you do throughout the season or into postseason?
No, I mean, I usually keep myself to myself before, I mean, I go out for the 2-touch with the boys, and then after that, I sort of put my headphones on, just keep myself to myself, and just start getting ready for the game. But, postseason, I played the legs, but I've not played in the Final Four yet. So, I mean, definitely want to play in that at some point. So, if we can get there, if we can, then that would be amazing.
And won't be growing any outrageous facial hair or anything for the post.
I wish I could. This mustache is all I can get. And I've shaved it off before, and it just looked. I don't know. It's sort of been around for quite a while that it looked so weird when it went off. So it's staying for the time being.
I let my I normally sort of trim my beard sort of every couple of weeks, but I let mine go through the postseason. And by the time the playoffs had finished, the wife was threatening to pin me down. She is to it, so it's I have to keep it a little bit nicer. But yeah, I think I do like all the little traditions and little quirks that go with it. It does make it quite entertaining.
That's it. Yeah, some people. I mean, I know some people bleach their hair, and some very outrageous facial hair. So yeah, it's quite funny seeing some of the guys line up on playoffs. Yeah,
there's something I did want to talk to you about actually. There's a picture that I think was taken by Mel at Streatham. I think it was from the Cup final when Slough played Streatham last year. Saving a shot at point blank range, and your mask has come off, it's on the floor. Your hair's like all up in the air because of the movement. It's one of the most incredible hockey photos I've ever seen. I keep badgering Mike at Hockey Art Co to get it on a T-shirt and get it out there. I think we're just waiting for permission from Mel, who took the picture, to get it done. Do you remember anything about that moment particularly? Because that Cup final was incredible, those two legs.
Yeah, no, I remember. I mean, if you're on about highlights of the career as well, I mean, that's got to be up there. That was such an intense week of hockey. I mean, it was so dialed in for that weekend. But yeah, I mean, across the two games, that might have been some of the best hockey I've seen. So yeah, I mean, you're just so in the zone. I do remember it happening, and it was just I was down by a goal. 2-1 down in their leg, and at the time you just don't even think. You just no more can go in. That's it. So whatever you can get in front of the puck that's it.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I'll actually for those of us joining on YouTube, it just appear up in the centre there, so you can have a little look at it. It's truly. It looks like a hockey photo from the 30s. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's something as well that. Them guys don't get enough love. They're guys around the rinks that take all the pictures and everything, because it's sort of creating this almost like a legacy for you guys. You've got this sort of digital memory book of you playing the game that you love, and that's one of the best things I think that technology does nowadays. It's allowed you guys to have all of these memories from playing this game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you've got the team photographers, and then you've got the fans taking photos as well. They always seem to pop up on social media, and there's definitely a couple of good ones out there. Yeah,
it's brilliant. Well, Brett, thank you so much for your time, mate. It's been really, really great chatting to you about your career, your playing time. Wish you all the best for your season with Swindon Wildcats too. Obviously not the best start to the year for you guys, and I know you're coming back from a little niggle at the moment, but we hope to see you back in the crease very soon.
No, thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, mate. Cheers. A massive thank you to Brett Massey for joining me on the podcast. As we said just slightly off air, when Swindon come down to Chelmsford, I'll go and say hello. We'll get a picture, because it's so nice to actually meet everybody in person that comes on the podcast. I haven't managed to meet everybody as yet, but it's always great to actually have a handshake, have a cuddle, and have a picture, because meeting over Zoom is one way of meeting, and we do get a nice little chat out of everybody, but it's really nice to meet in person. So again, a massive thank you to Brett, and a massive thank you to Brett's dad, John, who always shares out everything from the podcast. He's a great supporter of it, and that's really, really great to see people getting involved with it like that. Well, thank you so much for listening to the interview episode. Of course, the Roundup episode is still available everywhere you get your podcasts and, of course, on YouTube. So you can find all of that there. You have to follow us on all of the socials because then you don't miss anything that we share out, because we share out absolutely every single piece of news about the league. And occasionally we chunk a little something out there on social media just to sort of stir the pot and get the conversation going between the fans. And we want to talk about what's going on in our league that we like to follow. So follow us at Zero Pucks Given Podcast on Instagram, Threads and TikTok. Zero Pucks Given on Facebook and YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube and you get a notification every time we post a video. Might start putting out a few little shorts as well if I can figure out how that works. And then you can follow us at Zero Pucks Pod on Twitter as well. Normally on a Saturday or Sunday evening, if I'm at a Chelmsford home game, you can get live game updates from my Twitter feed there. Hoping any of the clubs that would like me to come and do it, please let me know. Hoping to do some Spaces commentary on Twitter so that we can have some live commentary going out on Twitter, sort of like a radio style for people that can't make the game. So any clubs that would like that to happen, please get in touch. And I'm also hoping to try and stream some games through my YouTube channel as well. So again, any clubs that would like to sort of facilitate me doing that for a game, please get in touch, because I just think it will be fantastic to spread the love of the sport across the wide internet world and the stuff that's all getting followed here. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for listening. Next week, we'll have the roundup episode from all of this week's games with the exclusive coaches' thoughts. 9 out of 10 coaches providing their thoughts to the podcast, which is absolutely unbelievable. Can't believe we get that much detail from the coaches as well. It's absolutely brilliant. And then next week's guest will be Slough Jets D-man Alex Cole. Got his first goal for Slough at the weekend, just gone. Obviously joining there from the Solent Devils, where he spent, say, the majority, pretty much all of his ice hockey career. So really looking forward to talking to Alex. Me and Alex have actually met. There's a very brief chat between me and Alex, Alexandra Palace, up on the YouTube there that you can find. But yeah, we're looking forward to having that chat and going right through his career, right up to his move to Slough and his nuptials that he just got married in beautiful setting. Somewhere out in Sardinia, I believe. Looked absolutely stunning. So looking forward to chatting to Alex next week. That will be episode 116, I believe. So we're looking for 115 that's coming out next week, and that will be the roundup episode, and then 116 with Slough Jet Alex Cole. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.